of course, this will be my last pickle. But this one I found in my kit stash, and this just has such a cute face. I don't have many open-eyed babies available right now, so I thought I would start or do one that was open-eyed. And the Kenzie crawler, I've done one before a long time ago, and it's been a really long time, like 2016 or 17 when I did that one. And I have a couple of those. I don't know if it's a very popular kit, but she's really fun. It's a really fun kit to do because like doing pictures and stuff with it was a lot of fun. I took it to the park and got pictures. It was fun. So what I'm doing first is I always just vein first. So I don't have any there is no pattern, diagram, anything like that I do. I just throw the veins wherever I think they need to be. And you gotta be really careful with the blues because they stain. So if you put blue on there that you did not want on there, it's not always fun to get off. So you just kind of, I don't know, I don't do a lot of veining. I'm going to probably root this baby, so I'm not going to do a lot of detail on the head because it's going to be covered up anyways. So I also like put a little bit of the blue inside the nostrils. I do not cut out the nostrils, I just shade them. So we'll do that. And it's just so subtle, but it really makes a big difference. I wish I had better lighting, but I do not at the moment. You can't really tell the bluing. So I also like to put the blue on like on open-eyed babies on the eyelids. Okay. You don't want them super blue or anything, but you're gonna go and paint in. I also don't like to take out the eyes until I heat up the kit. So it's perfectly fine. These eyes can stand the heat. So I usually get the first layer on and then I pull the eyes out until the end. But I heat up the kit for about 5 minutes in order to get the eyes in. And that just keeps it from tearing the eye socket. I learned that the hard way when I was starting. The eye sockets are not always easy to get those eyeballs in. You can put them in from the inside. I don't care to do that. It doesn't work for me. Never been able to do it. So I put them in from the outside. But as long as you heat up the kit, you should be fine. So we're going to put the bluing on the eyelids. So the eyelids are this indentation. You can see the difference. And you see that. So I'm putting blue on those. And inside the nostrils, can't really tell, but there's nothing else. She has a little bit of a mouth open. It's very, very slight. I'm not gonna blue. Well, I am gonna blue it. So I squeeze the cheeks, and I'm just painting basically like the back of the throat, I guess. The back of the mouth is what we're doing. It's just a shadow, and it's not even going to be noticeable now, but it makes a difference in the end. Also going to do the inside of the ears, and blue also dries really quickly, so I already painted those veins, but I can touch it, it's fine. So I'm going to do, I like to do like these little shadowed areas, and line it. And the inside of the ear. And this bluing is just your first layer. This is the way I do it. Every artist does it differently. So I'm gonna do it with both sides. I already veined my pickle. I was before I decided, hey, maybe I'll make a video. So get like one of those setups so you can actually see what I'm painting. But I don't have anything like that, I just have my phone camera. So, yeah, it'll either work or it won't. Okay, so now that we got the color on there, that one is done and ready to dry. Alright, and then I'm gonna do the limbs. So I like to work with the head and limbs at the same time, belly plates, all that at the same time, if I can. Sometimes I decide to do a belly plate after the kit is already done, which is fine too, but then I have to color match. Not a big deal, but definitely a lot easier to do whenever you do it all at once. So with all three of these babies, they all have tummy plates, or Kenzie Crawler has a back and front plate. So for veining, you just put them where you think the vein should go. Like, I don't really know. Look at your own feet. Look at your own hands. Look at images on Google. That's a great thing. But there's no baby I do is the same. So I just do it however I think looks good on the kit, and you just kind of, it's not even that noticeable. See, like, you see those lines? They're just basically hints of lines, but really they do show up once you start layering the colors on. They'll show up as underneath the skin. It's really kind of neat. Right now they just look like drawn on blue lines, but like a hint of blue. You want this blue to be very watered down, very, very light. It does not take much at all. Alright, so that one's done. Usually do one like under the arm, because we always have really brighter veins like under the arm there. Do like right at the top, right there where it like starts your hand, and then always the veins on the hand. And you just kind of wiggle them in. Like, doesn't have to be perfect. The more wiggly, the more realistic they'll look. If you got straight lines on, it's gonna look very not realistic. It's gonna look weird. So you want to wiggle your lines on. I like to hold my thing, so it just kind of glided across there. I don't know. There's that. And it really just doesn't take a lot. Like, you don't want to like super veiny unless you're gonna, unless it's gonna be like alternative or something. I don't know. You don't really see a lot of veins in the babies unless they're really, really fair skinned. When you don't like something, you just kind of brush it off, blend it out. You really can't take the blue off too easily. So really you just gotta blend it, and that's okay too. Like, if you screw up with veining, it's okay, because that bluing shadowing effect also looks good underneath all the layers. So that's why I like to do veining first. A lot of artists don't do the veining first. They're kind of, I suppose they're scared to stain the vinyl. But actually, any kind of like mess ups for the blue discoloration or anything, it just adds to it. It adds to it under the layers. I mean, I guess I kind of generally do the same pattern, kind of. I go on one side of the foot, I go on the other side of the foot, do a couple on the foot, and I usually do one like on the thigh, and one on the inner thigh, And then I take across that crease in the back. I always have like this dark vein right across that back crease. So I like to do that. It's more like a dark shadow. I wish I had a better way of showing you what I was talking about. One of these days I'll get like maybe like one of those GoPro things or something so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know if the lighting is good or not. I can't really tell in my room right now. The lighting is bright in my room, but not on the camera so much. Alright. And then we got this belly plate. Now, I don't know if this baby is going to be a boy or a girl, so it is a gendered belly plate. If I decide it is going to be a boy, I'll just cut that off and it'll just be a non-gendered belly plate. If I do decide it's a girl, then I'll just go ahead and leave it. This one. So for a belly plate, I just usually start at the neck up here and I bring it down. Bring it up to like a little V. You want to blend those. Then you want to take it and drag it down your lines. Make them so they blend into the vinyl. Like I don't know how to explain that really, but you just make the lines. Then you're going to take this and you're just going to, I don't even know how I do it, just grab it and drag it down. It makes it basically like fade into the vinyl. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that. I'm sorry. But I'll just do it and you'll either catch it or you won't. So I do it on both sides of the belly. I'm going to, this one's got a little bit deeper of an any belly button, so I like to put the blue on the inner shadow of it. Now we're just going to go like this. And it's okay to have a little bluing on the outside of the belly button. Actually, like the bluing like this on the belly. Like it gives a nice effect, I guess. Then, usually from the thigh, I'll come up and up. And shadow out, shadow out. Okay, this is a girl plate, so depending, I think it's going to be a girl. I don't really know, but just basically the shadowing of where the darker areas will be. Like on the sides and whatnot. And whatever. It does have like little wrinkles in the belly. Little lines, so we're just going to shadow those with the blue. Okay, and then like right underneath the breast area, breastbone area, you're just going to shadow in that. Well, that's really it of that. Yeah, and it just kind of looks like that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, here's that. Okay, so all her bluing is done. Now I'm going to go through and do Kenzie, and then I will go for the next layer for that one. So while she's baking, I'll paint Kenzie's. Okay, I am going to do Pickle's modeling. So she is going to be a lighter skin, a more fair skin with red hair. So right now she is very yellow toned. So let's see, I'm going to go with I've got, if I'm going to go for a fair tone, then I'm going to use more of a reddish blue undertone, a red with a blue undertone, if that makes sense. I'm going to do that first, because I do want her modeling to be more significant, because she's going to be a redhead. Modeling definitely stands out more on redhead skin tone. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 4 redheads myself at home, and they all have that very fair skin tone. So what I like to use is the modeling sponge. I have a few different ones. This one, I just decide which one I want to use. These are what my modeling sponges look like. I use them for different things, for different layers, but I just make them with they're just cosmetic wedges, and I use tweezers to pluck them. Pluck the edges and the centers. Different spacings to have, and smaller, bigger ones, that's all great. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use one with a wider modeling for the first round. Okay, and then I'm going to get a brush. We're going to get some, I use Gamasol. I love Gamasol for my thinner. We're going to use this. Put it in my tray. We're going to use this like reddish purple color. And we're going to mix it in there. It's going to be like, you want it to be thin, but you want it to have color. Like, I don't know, you want it to be like the consistency of like juice. Like you can see through it, but you can see the color. So, I don't know, like a cranberry juice or something kind of color. Or consistency anyways. And so when I'm going to paint it onto the sponge. And then I have not baked her veins because I don't need to, because the blue just stains. So I usually just allow it to dry. And then I am just going to pounce on this bigger vein, or this bigger model. Now, I don't do the neutralizing washes or anything like that. I just work with whatever it is. Okay, so this is yellow. I know that I want it to be more fair. I honestly don't know. I just do it. So like I don't know how to tell you, oh, use this color, use this color. I don't know. I just look at it. At this point right now, I'm using this berry kind of red with a blue undertone kind of color, because I feel like that'll break up this yellow with this bigger model, because I want those yellow tones in there already. So instead of doing like a yellow wash of any kind down the road, that yellow is going to stick through. And I likely won't need a yellow wash. I might at the very end, but it's got enough yellow in this kit already. I may not. So I do it pretty heavily all over, but it has got big spacing, if you can see. Make sure you cover. I like to make sure that I get every color, every like big space. Like I just want it to have like this texture. Okay, so it looks like kind of weird and meaty looking, right? Okay, it's a weird saying, but yeah, to me that's what it looks like. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to do that to all of the limbs, and I'm going to do it to the whole thing, to the whole arm. Going down, and it really doesn't take long to get all of this covered. And I will bake after this one because I'm doing the whole surface. So anytime I paint a whole surface, then I am going to bake it. Because if you don't, the colors will bleed together or they can wipe off, and I don't like that. It's more so they wipe off. But you just cover the whole thing. I'm going to cover the whole top of the hand. I'm going to tap the fingers, leave the inside of the hands, right? No, we're going to tap them. So tap the entire thing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing that to all the rest of the limbs. And you just want to like lightly tap too. Like you don't want to push it on. You want just the color just to sit sit on there, but you don't want your color runny to where it runs. And I'm starting to run out, so I take my Gamsol, throw some more in there because I got a belly plate and 2 legs left. So we're just gonna add more color. Just put it on there like that. Like, do you see that? You see that? I just kind of like dig it in there, get enough color on there, put it in there, and just make it the consistency of like a cranberry juice, and it's the perfect color. It's not too red, it's not thick, it doesn't run. You would just paint it on the thing. And when I put it on there, I kind of just pounce it around like bigger spots. And more. And space it out first. Because if you do that, then you're not tending to get too much in one area. And once you got the majority of it all just spaced out, definitely do the bottom of the feet too, because modeling looks great on the bottom of the feet. Then you're just going to go through and tap to fill in the spots. After I get this layer all done, I'll take a photo of it and show you what it looks like. Seems how it's not really coming across my video, I don't believe. And it's such light color, it's hard to see anyways without better lighting. I mean, you can see it in my room, but not on the camera. You can see that it's there, for sure. You can see the wetness, you can see the splotchiness. That's what it's supposed to look like. It's not going to look splotchy in the end. This is just layer by layer you're adding, but you want to add add this stuff to the bottom. It all turns out in the end. It really comes together. Alright, well, that's pretty good. I like overdo it, but yeah, now the belly plates. So some of it doing it mixed up. If you can see, I got, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see those bright red streaks if you can. Okay, if you ever do that, didn't get mixed up, you can take your brush and just scrub it in there. And then just paint it again. But that way it won't leave like splotches of bright red paint. Okay. Very good. See that? Sponge it all over. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to let that one dry before it goes into the baker. I'm going to let it dry on there and then I'm going to bake it. Evelyn, I'm going to go ahead and do her modeling instead of baking her. First, I am going to, she has brown eyes, and I think I'm going to do a golden blonde hair on her. So I think I'm going to do more of like a peaches and cream type of color on her. So her kit is really white. It's really white colored. So I'm going to add, I like this like rust color. That might be it right there. That is it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to add like this orange rust kind of color for her base model. So, do that. We're just going to squeeze that in. Try to get enough to do the whole thing all at once. We're going to use the same thing. We're just going to use the same brush. That's all it is. And then we're just going to dig into that paint, coat the brush, and mix in the thinner. Very easy, so you don't spill it everywhere. But it's just like an orange rust color. We are going to tap out my sponge because actually I think I'm going to go with a smaller, a really small model. Just because what I'm doing is I'm going to be changing the whole color of this kit basically. So with that, I want more of this surface covered. And we just want a little of that white poking through from the original kit color. Just paint it on there. Make sure it's painted on real good so it's not running on your kit there. You can go over the ears because you're going to do this whole thing. I do not do the face though, okay, because it's going to be a little bit different. So I kind of leave out the face circle, so it's like she's wearing like a, you know, where just a face is showing. Going all the way around up here, and then we're going to go up here. I'm going to go to the forehead right up here, but that's it. And you can tap over those ears, behind and on top. So I don't know if it'll show up or not, but I'll definitely put pictures after I bake it so you can see the effect of this one. Her little limbs. And I go over the whole limb. Be careful not to make the thing solid. You don't want it solid, because then the skin has no texture to it. Like, you don't want it to just be one color. Your skin is not one color, so there we go. Make sure you do the bottoms of the feet, the tops of the feet. Do the hands, the tips of the fingers. Just go over the whole thing. Let's see. It's good. And it has open, closed hands. Covering all the limbs. Okay. Alright, so now moving on to this belly plate, and I'm just going to coat it. The last bit of stuff I got here. Just going to go all over the whole thing. So for this baby, the only thing that will not be covered with this model layer is, or texture layer, whatever you want to call it, will be the front of the face. Everything else will be covered. Okay, so there's that. Alright, so now those two kits are done. Pickle is dry and ready to bake, so I'm gonna bake him. Whatever I decide to do. Pickle is gonna be baked. I'm going to paint Kenzie while I wait for Pickle to get done. Alright, I'm gonna work on Kenzie. Alright, so she's got, I'll turn my palette back around to where it's blue, so I can do the veining and stuff. Blue. We're gonna, oops. Alright, blue. So, we're gonna make the veins. I'm not going to do too much on the back of the head just because she's going to be rooted. So, I'll not show very much underneath her hair, so no sense in painting under there. Okay. I'm going to do the eyelids and the inner corners of the eye. Try to get up under the eyelid. I don't know if you can see or not. Do the bottom of the eyelid right there. I feel like you're putting eyeliner on. And then all the way down to that crease. And sometimes when it gets too wet, just gotta tap it off with a dryer brush. I like this. Kenzie has the little, like, it's like the little inner corner pocket of your eye. Like, it's got a little inner corner pocket. It makes it look really realistic. I go ahead and just do it blue. I'll go in with some reds and stuff later. Do the eyelid under the eye. And we can do it in the nose. Tap around the nostrils. It doesn't look weird, and then just make sure that you don't got any puddles of blue. You just want it to be shaded with color. So if you're leaving puddles, then dry off your brush And just move your brush around in there, and it'll absorb that extra that don't need to be there. This one, she has a whole roof of her mouth, and this one's kind of cool. So I like to put in the blue on that roof of the mouth, and you're not going to do it all. You're just going to do like a little bit of it, just like, so it's very detailed. It has like, I don't know, it's like a detailed roof of your mouth. So it's just like your roof of the mouth, you know. So I just put a little bit of color in there. It's like a little veining, a little bit, and we're gonna go around the tongue, because underneath the tongue it's a lot bluer red. So we're gonna put that in there, all on the underneath of the tongue. And then we're gonna tap out anything that we don't want there, and just blend it. That's it. So it looks a little shadowed. I wish I could better show you that. Hopefully you can just take what I say and, like, you know, figure it out for yourself. You know, that's how art is anyways, right? Take the idea. You don't want to copy somebody. You just want to take that idea and then make it your own, right? So we're going to do the end of the ears and the inside of the ear, all the way down to the bottom, and tap out anything that you don't want. Okay, so if I can do that better on the camera. So we're gonna do just basically all the like little hidden pockets, and inside the ear you just kind of roll your brush around and try to get all the inside of the ear, and then tap any of the surface, because you don't want blue on the outside of the ear right there or anything like that. Now this baby has a really long neck. You can look at your own neck, see where your veins are, but this baby's gonna have some veins on her neck all the way down. Okay. I just put them randomly. I don't know. I'm gonna come up behind the ear and come up behind the ear. And that was a little dark, so I'm just gonna tap it, because I don't want the shape or the color to go away, but I want it to be a little bit lighter. So you just take a dry and just tap it straight on. If you tap it straight on, it stays wherever you put it. It don't get messed up. Okay, then I'm gonna brush all those out. Alright, so I'm gonna go up here because my hands kind of got all over the place, and now I'll just smooth out any veins that got messed up, or if they did, if they weren't all the way dry, sometimes they get a little smeared. That's alright. It just makes your little blue shadowing, so it's great. Like, it works either way. You work with it, okay? It's art. If a line gets messed up, you work it into your art. Like, it's not, honestly, there is no mess ups in art, because you can always turn it into something. The only time where it'd be an issue is if it was like custom or something, cause yeah, sometimes customs you have to do it exactly as a customer wants. So yeah, you know, it's kind of, customs can be difficult in that way, because you don't get that freedom to work with whatever happens. I like to be able to work with whatever happens, because it doesn't always go away as planned, but that's the best part of it, you know? That's where the good stuff comes. It's usually all by accident. So, I would say that I'm a little sloppy with veining, but you can be, because you just throw them on there and it's best. If it's weird or If it don't look right, you blend. You don't wipe it off, because the blue doesn't like to wipe off. You just blend, and it causes that nice blue shading that you need. Anyway, see, look at that. Like, look, I just bludged that, right? Tap it, blend it, blah, and that'll look good in the end. I don't even know if you can see it on the camera, but anyways, it will look good in the end, so no worries. And we're gonna make some little veinies, and like that. And sometimes it's a little heavy, so you just tap it. Next, go down on the hand. Alright. Like it. Alright, and I don't like to do too much either. Like, too much veining looks weird. I don't know. I did this one baby alternative with lots of veining. Actually turned out really cool, but it was alternative. And it looks really neat. Like, it does look pretty neat when it's intentional. Good. Yeah, see, that's extreme. That's an extreme blue line that we do not need that much. So we're gonna tap it off. We're gonna pull it. We're gonna pull it this way. I don't even know how to explain how to do that. I just do it. And it goes in the right area. Then look at it. It's like blended in. Like, look at that nice vein blended into that leg. Yeah. And it'll look even better once the other layers are on. So we're gonna take it down to the foot and across. Taking it down to the foot and across. And throwing a little vein there. Okay, so now we're just gonna tap it, pull it, like that. That one I kind of wiped off, but that's okay. I would have too much if I kept it. And then some of these, like the veins that are like by the ankles and stuff, I really like to leave those a little bit darker. I don't know, I have darker veins in my ankles, so to me it looks really good. Looks nice in the end. I have to move that. Alright. Then one more leg. Alright, one more leg and then the belly plate. Really need a drink of water. See that bludge? Now, you also see that separation in between those lines, right? A vein does not have separation between the lines. So what I like to do is I'm just gonna like tap it with the corner, and you're just gonna tap it along that line and just pull a little bit on the end of the tail, and that blends super nicely in there. I don't know if you can see that, but like it's in the skin now, not sitting on top. Not sitting on top of those little rolls. So it's very neat. It's kind of crazy how it works, but it works. I really need to use the blue one. And we're just gonna pull it. Ooh, that one had a little brown on it, so that one I did not get washed off very well. That's okay. Okay, just rub that in, and it'll be hidden underneath the colors anyway. You can't even see it anyway. Just wipes right off, really. So make sure to tap that down. Put that line there. Line. Blend. Tap it on those rolls so that way it's like it pushes that color underneath those little rolls. Yeah. Maybe. push on it. Don't want that double line there. Other thing is you want your veins to be more of like a, you always want to have a branch. Okay, you can do one little line and it can look okay, depending on where it's at and whatever, but it's always good to have like a little branch on it. It just, whatever, makes it look more real. It doesn't look like just a drawn line. It looks, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it looks better. There you go. My opinion anyways. Okay, so then I'm gonna roll it onto the top of the foot. And of course my hand's a little shaky right now. Why? Okay, try again. Wipe it off. So we're gonna roll onto this little foot. And then we're gonna roll that. There we go. Then we're gonna roll this way. And this way. See how it's like kind of those V veins with a little wiggle. Okay, and that's good. So now we're just gonna tap it, make sure it's not too dark, blend in those ends, and yeah. Alright, so that one's, I don't like that one. So like this one had to look like they were side by side veins. Not gonna happen. So I'm gonna rub them with the sponge until it goes in to look like one solid vein there. It made it a little whiter, but that's actually, it looks pretty good. Pretty sure it can't show up on there, but yeah. Alright. Now we got the Kenzie plate. It's back and front. So this one, I put my hand in here and hold it by the shoulders. Okay, so whenever we do Kenzie or any kind of kit that has a neck to the body, you gotta pay attention where you put them veins on the neck. Okay, so we're going to pop this head in there. There we go. That's about where it's gonna be, and of course the head is gonna turn and everything, and that's okay. But the general idea is put those veins where they connect to the neck. Okay, so then we're gonna do that. And that way it looks like that. And it gives us a good start. Then I always do one under the arm. I don't know. This seems to be my pattern. I guess I do have somewhat of a pattern. We are gonna do bluey around the belly button. I don't know why, I just do that. It looks good to me. And then we're going to bluey it up in that belly part. Let's find a sponge. Different sponge here. Okay. And we're just gonna rub it in and just get that nice shadow effect. Okay, so this one, we're gonna pull it down because it's kind of strong. And that one's just gonna, might even draw the one out again. So I'm just gonna. There we go. Now on the back. So you can kind of, I don't know, for the back, they have a spine. So I just usually just shade in basically little things. I don't know how you do it, like that. And then it's gonna be irregular. And Okay, so it looks like that, right? It looks weird. Then you're just gonna tap those out. You're gonna tap those out, and those are just gonna leave a little bit of a shadow where a little spine is gonna be. Okay, so it looks kind of like that, see? And then you can connect a couple. Like that. Just go like that. And it's just very light, but it just gives a hint of where that spine could be. And then we're just gonna blend in the sides to make it not so rough, not so strong. And once you get the layers on, it'll bring it up, it'll make it look better too. But yeah, that's how that goes. And yeah, I really don't do much else on the back. I mean, you can do like a little bit on that, a little bit on that, a little bit of dark, tap, and blend. Just blending out those tips. And just taking that and just blending it up. There you go. There you go. Alright. So, Kenzie's blue is done. Now for Kenzie, what am I doing with it? I don't know. She's got green eyes, so some really good golden blonde hair. Might go with that. I think I'll do golden blonde because with her eyes so green, she might be a golden blonde girl. Okay, so with that, I will probably, I'm gonna go like a peaches and cream olive kind of skin tone, but maybe like a tan. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with like a tan, but she's gonna have like medium blonde hair. I think that'll look pretty and different. Okay, so with that, this kit is very white also, so I'm definitely gonna want to put a more golden kind of color on it. But she isn't going to be like totally modelly. Okay. So, but I'm still going to have a little bit of model to her. So I think I want to do like probably a medium. Like a medium. And I'm going to do that with because I think I might just go with the red blue tone on it. This head is awkward. Okay, so I might go with the maybe more red. Right? Nope, red blue. Okay, so we're gonna do like this more reddish purple color. Put a lot in there. So we're gonna need a lot. Should actually use a bigger bowl probably. And it's gonna be more reddish purple. Because then we're gonna make, okay, yeah, because I want that underneath. It's gonna be like more of a golden tan skin tone. Okay, and we're gonna do it with a medium model piece. Alright, and then we're just gonna do it all over. Whenever I'm rooting, when I do the head, I like to do it at the top of the head. Because if I got it too much, if I got too much on the thing, then it'll blend down just fine. But, and you just kind of work it all over. I do want the model to be a little bit stronger because I am going to go with like more of a tan skin. So I want this to pull through on the tan. So on the darker skin tone. So this will be just fine. You can tap over those ears. And I got a little much, so I'll just tap it down and do that. Okay. Okay, so hers is gonna look like that. And I think I'll just go ahead and add the blushing layer in to this because I want it to be more under the skin. So I'm also going to add this to her cheeks and a little bit on her chin. I'm just going to use the side of this just to get a little bit off because it's a little bit dark, and maybe on the nose. There we go. The other thing is this tongue. Go ahead and add a red layer to the tongue. You can also add a little bit of pink to the lips. And we're going to mix this and bring it onto the arms. Got this hair background. This model layer is not giving her a baby model layer. It is giving her skin texturing layers. Okay, so it's gonna look realistic. Like, it's not gonna look all one tone. So that's what the purpose of this is. You're not actually giving baby model layers. That's not what it is. Well, then my toddler, he is 2, and he has some significant modeling sometimes. Like, just depends on what his mood is and temperature and all that stuff. But sometimes his modeling is very, very significant. He's a redhead. Fair skin, it shows up a lot more. But this is just going to give different coloring to the final look. I don't really like to do a lot of washes until the very, very end, and that's just basically to tone it to the colors that I want the final result to be. Otherwise, I pretty much use like these modeling sponges, texturing sponges, or whatever, because I like the different variation of coloring in a skin tone. I do not like a solid skin tone. I think it makes it look like a doll. It doesn't look realistic to me because I don't know anybody's skin tone that looks that smooth. There are some darker skin tones that definitely look smoother, and I would do that. But even still, I like variation in the coloring, because if you really look at it close, you can always see variation of color. Okay, then you just look at it all and make sure that you don't have any like really stark coloring. So like if it looks real red, just tap it out. You just want that color break in there. You don't want it to be like super strong. You want it to blend into the vinyl. Okay. Alright, and then you're on to the body. Very cool. Moving right along with this one.